It is a criminal offence to ask Christians to vote only Christians according to Electoral Act, Ogunye. A constitutional lawyer, G.T. Ogunye, has reiterated the constitutional chapter and section that warned politicians and Nigerians not to engage in a political campaign based on religion or tribe. He's reacting to a video by a cleric who said his congregation will go to hellfire if they fail to vote in favor of the church. The lawyer further said the cleric comments violated the Electoral Act 2022 and was thus a criminal offence. Ogunye cited the portion of the Electoral Act which says a candidate, person or association who engages in campaigning or broadcasting based on religious, tribal or sectional reason for the purpose of promoting or opposing a particular political party or election of a particular candidate and commits an offence under this act and is liable on conviction to a maximum fine of 1 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 12 months or both, and in the case of political party to a maximum fine of 10 million naira. He reasoned that perhaps religious leaders seek for legal permission to join partisan politics, and hence the reason why a lot of them stay mute or are neutral. And yes, to be honest, I also saw that in the Electoral Act as well. But going back to the actual matter which triggered this constitutional lawyer to come out and say this is because the pastor of a church, well, it's not really confirmed what church it is, but a video by a cleric said his congregation will go to hell. I mean, it's a different thing for you to convince your congregation of what you think or who you're voting for. I mean, that's in a way sort of being, not is being biased, yes. But then saying you're going to go to hell for that is too much. And I don't know about that. It's a bit crazy. That's very intense. Well, he said it would have been better for the religious bodies to ask for a constitutional review that will allow the constitution to key in religious bodies as political parties. But as it is now, no religious body can participate in politics. He cited the case of Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and other places which, from being a religious body, metamorphosed into political parties that ruled over their countries. Okay, and now we are going to go into the comments. First, don't be one-sided. What makes you think that it is not criminality for a presidential candidate to say that there is no Christian in the northern Nigeria is qualified to be his running mate? So you see, it is a foolishness of Tinubu APC that compels Christians to rethink. You may wish to advise them to apologize to Christians for such a nasty excuse. Now, that's the first time I'm hearing that. Well, if that is true, then it does add a bit of nuance to this. Muslim is not criminality. All these politicians take us for fools. What a selfish human being. What everyone is saying, balance a Christian Muslim. If you have Muslim Christian and things are this way, tell me then when we have a Muslim, what do you think will happen to Christians in Nigeria? You people should be reasonable as humans. APC should be jailed and disqualified for filing candidates based on Muslim ticket. But again, they've come out to say that it's not based on that. And again, as Tinubu has said, capacity, competence, and character, that is what, are the basis for him choosing whoever he wants to choose. So that's pretty much it. But the first comment is it then changes things. At the end of the day, I think what the comments here try to say is to this Electoral Act, there's also got, if you're going to have a rule, forget civilians and, organizational bodies trying to promote a political party based on, again, ethnicity, religion, then they can be fined. And it should be the same thing with political parties, because on paper it's saying one thing, but then they're describing and telling us that it's another, telling us, it's not based on bias or religious bias or ethnic bias. It's not based on that. But then the candidate that you've chosen. So again, I think this also shows that this Electoral Act has to be reviewed, because you can't have a standard for civilians and not the same for political parties. But then again, for political parties, they also find a bigger sum of 10 million naira anyways. But unless, well, that's the thing. That's why zoning, rotational presidency, this case as well. Because I was thinking maybe there should be a standard of a Christian Muslim ticket for each political party as a standard. But then again, these things are not in the constitution, and they all come down to personal opinion. But then, given the complexity of what the country is and how the government should ideally represent everyone in society, it's not giving that, and so it makes it very difficult. The constitutional lawyer forgets that it is obnoxious conduct of his party APC that ignites the current situation. Exactly. Again, if APC wanted to take into consideration, again, of course, trying to be progressive and make your campaign and say, what? No, ethnic and religious bias is not for us. We don't make our decisions based on that. Fine, but your actions prove otherwise. Because if you really cared and you understood that you're actually here to serve the whole of Nigeria, not a section of Nigeria, and you understand that your current ruling party has ignited and fueled even more division and hate amongst tribes, and then you try to finish off the work of your ruling party by allowing a Muslim ticket. Again, all you're doing is inducing, as this person says, igniting that the conversation, because now the conversation is now different. I mean, we've left the conversation of competency and focusing on the characters of these individuals, even though we still are focused on their characters by assessing topics like this. But now the conversation has turned into Muslim ticket, what is going on, and then it has now led to especially members of the APC resigning and dissociating themselves, from being members. So it is problematic in so many ways, and that's why for a lot of people, it's for APC. Why would you make such a decision? Why would you? Because if PDP did the opposite, why couldn't you do the opposite? But again, it's like you never really know. Again, what was the point? It is also a criminal offence to discriminate and tag a section of a nation as not important as their vote does not matter in deciding an election. You hypocrite, you don't know what you're writing about. Okay. I mean, everyone pretty much is calling this man a hypocrite. I mean, it seems like he represents the APC, but I mean, this must be true because there are several comments that are highlighting the fact that Tinubu must have stated how, again, he sectioned off a part of the country and just said their votes don't really matter in simplicity. Put what you think about this in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.